Hi everyone, my name's Isaac. Welcome to round 3 of the Adrenaline GT GT3 Championship. We're here at Monza for this week, and I've got Chris alongside me in the commentary box. G'day, Chris.
Hello, Isaac. Thanks for having me, man. This late afternoon here for round 3 of the Adrenaline GT3 Championship here. Pretty tight field up here within the top 4. Justin, Crestal, Slippy and Warburton all very tight on times at the moment. Meanwhile, Hamza in 5th position for the start of this one. He's battling COVID from what we have heard, so he might be running at a bit of 75% capacity for this afternoon's race, Isaac. But looks like it's going to be a ripper one because we've got a lot of tyre degradation. I think we do love a lot of tyre degradation here at AGT. That's been the theme of GT3 so far this season.
Yeah, no, 100% tyre deg has been the name of the game. And everywhere we've been to, and also the undercut and your pit strategy has been the story of it so far. Let's jump into the qualifying order. As you mentioned, our top 5, Justin L, Cristal, Slippy, Warburton and Hamza in P5. Those guys, those top 5 cars, actually top 6 cars, separated by less than 2/10 of a second. So Jay Green is 6th, also within 2/10 of Justin L's pole time. So it's incredibly close up the top. We've got BBL Sinkiller 7th, Smashing Apex 8th, K-Dot in 9th, El Sandwith 10th, Wrestler 11th, and then you have to go all the way back to OGR Toolshed in 12th to find someone that's outside a second of the pole time here. So OGR Toolshed obviously in 12th, Bazza 13th, BBL Flash 14th, and then Street Styling just didn't get a clean run in qualifying, so finds himself 5 seconds off the pace after struggling to get through cleanly and down the order in 15th. So extremely competitive qualifying, Chris. It looks super close with especially those guys at the front. So it's going to be great to watch, especially how the strategy unfolds with the varying compounds that these guys are starting on.
Oh, absolutely, and that's a toothpick between the top 6 there. You're absolutely not wrong about that, Isaac. These guys are separated by absolutely nothing at the moment. However, we're going to see some of these guys towards the front end starting on the hard tyres, so there's going to be a massive tyre disparity. So we know how slow and some drivers can struggle on the hard tyre, especially at the race start. The cold hard tyres will be taking a lot longer to get into its optimal window to go. So we'll have to see if there's any incidents and if anyone can get through cleanly. But we'll have to watch those hard tyre runners there at the start, see if they can survive and try for a possible undercut, Isaac.
Yeah, no, 100%. Obviously, the soft tyre is the preferred tyre of choice around here, but the hard tyre is the mandatory tyre this week. And our pole sitter, Justin L, is one of those people starting on the hard tyre. So Justin, Jay Green, K-Dot, Sandwith, BBL Flash and Street Style and Bazza, also all on the hard tyre. 7 cars on the hard tyre, everyone else is on the softs. Let's have a look at the track map now. So we've got 11 turns around here at the Temple of Speed, 5.7 kilometers of racetrack, including a 1.1 kilometer front straight. So an extremely long front straight, which means if you can set yourself up well out of Parabolica, there's definitely opportunity for a move into that first chicane, Chris.
Oh, absolutely, and as I did mention before, the hard tyre runners, but also the drivers that are compromised on the fuel economy within their car. So there's going to be a lot of slipstream, a lot of gamesmanship going down outside of Parabolica down to turn 1 and 2, the Death Chicane, outside of Seaside, as a lot of us Gran Turismo 7 drivers love or hate, depends where you sit on the fence there for that one. But hopefully we can all get through there, turn 1 and 2. But yeah, you're absolutely right there. Exiting Parabolica can set up a lot of overtakes as well, and even going into 4, 5 and through the Les Moss as well. So, but we also know we can't go too abreast of Riscari, so if you can pull out an outside or inside move, depending on where you're at and your tyre and the state of your tyres, Isaac. I mean, like, hold your breath if you're going to see two abreast going in the Scari.
Yeah, no, definitely watch out for people trying to go side by side through a Scari, because it never ends well. Let's get into all the action now. We're going to take you 16 laps around the Temple of Speed here on a nice overcast afternoon. So let's get into it right now. Here's the race. All right, so here we go then. Our pole sitter going to lead them away as he rolls down towards the start line, and we are away racing for this one. Down towards turn 1, Justin L looks like he's pulling out a bit of a gap already. Going to get a nice shot of a few going side by side into turn 1 here. Everyone's just trying to keep it clean so far. They were advised in the briefing just to keep it clean, no silly moves into turn 1. That is Samwith side by side with, I believe that was Wrestler. So Wrestler and Samwith going side by side, battling for that last place in the top 10. Down towards the second set of chicanes, turn 3. That's only just actually classified as turn 3, the chicane.
Yeah, pretty tight away everyone here at the start. So far, Isaac, we know Samwith is on the hard tyre and Wrestler on the soft, but already we've got side-by-side action and reasonably very clean here at the start already. So a lot of the soft tyre drives will be navigating those in the hards. It's already Hunter. I'm trying to make a move there on Green, lights it up on the rear. Green is happy to concede position for now because he is on the alternate strategy, but Hamza battling COVID at the moment and qualified 5th, which I'm sure well and truly won't be happy about. So he'll be eyes forward, looking to zoom on through the field and see if he can recover any points to Justin, currently holding P1 on the hard tyre. So Justin may be able to get through lap 1 here on the hard tyre. Cleaning 2 abreast already through Ascari. Both Josh Green and Hamza going too wide through there, as well as Cabo and Wrestler here in the Corvette. The Corvette seems to be a very good car around here, very good top-end speed, and it seems like to be quite the beast around here at the moment. As meanwhile, Hamza and Green still battling out here for top 5 at the moment. Green on that hard tyre, so he's doing a pretty good job at the moment to hold out Hamza, but Hamza with a bit better traction coming out here coming out of Parabolica here, and looks like Apex is going to go with him as well.
Yeah, Apex just pushed him a bit wide there. Yeah, Apex got a bit aggressive on the exit, pushed Green out towards that compromised wide line coming out of Parabolica. And here we go, down towards turn 1. Apex, he's giving Hamza a bit of a bump, and Sinkilla is going to have a look at the inside of Apex. So already this is electric racing from these guys, and that is Sinkilla past Apex. These guys all going through turn 1 and 2. They are pushing each other for position, but it looks like Hamza, he's just found a bit of air between him and the cars behind. But Apex isn't willing to let Sinkilla go easily here. He's going to have a sniff down towards turn 3. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he is. He's made that. It's a very clean move into the braking zone there from Apex, and Jay Green's going to have a look now. He's going to come off the back of this. These two trying to go side by side. Jay Green's going to use that to his advantage to try and get past Sinkilla, but on those hard tyres, it's just hard to keep up with those cars in front of him.
Yeah, not wrong. Meanwhile, Justin has dropped to 3rd from the lead at the end of the opening lap here on the hard tyre. So it looks like James Warburton in the Porsche RSR 911 GT3 has taken the lead over Crestdale, and quite shouting here to Crestdale. Had a bit of an up and down struggle race at Fuji, especially with a very unfortunate game glitch where the game awarded him a 3-second penalty for overtaking in yellows, and that penalty was taken off his final result by Crestdale in P2 in that piece of Ferrari. Doing a magical job here in P2 to keep it up with these big players at the moment, but he's definitely not over here. Slippy accounted in that Supra, battling Hamza here at the moment. So these guys on the soft tyres would definitely be running an overcut strategy. They'll want to save the tyre for as long as they can, save fuel as much as they can without compromising on their overall speed, and maybe punch it out for a few laps towards the end on the hard tyres, but they will be runnable to the guys in the undercut. So a lot of different strategy at the moment. Everyone just needs to make sure that by battling each other, they don't lose too much time to everyone else running alternate strategies. And as well as Lobby B and Lobby C, Isaac, AGT do collate all the results together on the Tuesday night between all the lobbies racing. So you're not only just racing the guys on track, but you're also racing people that are in completely different lobbies, Isaac.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is. Just quickly, I'll come back to that. Hamza is side by side with Justin L. So Hamza, he's looking to make moves early and get himself up into the podium places, and Justin L is struggling on those hard tyres, obviously taking his pain early in this one. But yeah, you are right. You are racing not only the 15 guys in this lobby, but 21 guys, or probably a bit more actually. I think it's like 26 guys, 25 guys across 2 other lobbies as well. So there's about 39, 40 cars all up that you are competing against. So you've got to think about not only everyone that's around you in your lobby, but the other people, other drivers in other lobbies and how they're running. So even if you do make a mistake or have an accident, you keep going, because you know you never know if you're going to gain more places up the order. But also, conversely to that, you want to work together with the cars around you and not just battle with them, because you know you may you may cause you guys to all go, like your group to go slower, and that causes guys in the lower lobbies to catch up and beat you in the overall results.
Absolutely. It's hard to consider those factors when you're only minding the cars on track at the moment. Meanwhile, it's all happening here pre-Bolica, so Apex is taking a narrow line here, so maybe compromise on exit, but Slippery in that Supra we know is an absolute weapon in a straight line as well. Despite being compromised with fuel economy, will probably get in the slip here and probably make a move before they even reach the the braking marker here. Going through the turn 1 and 2 chicane just here, so that's another really good point to make, guys. Like as we were saying before, trying to make the move stick coming out of last corner there. If you're carrying so much extra speed, let alone your tyre degradation, let alone the fuel economy in your car, it's forever changing conditions. We are racing with fixed weather conditions to ensure parity and transparent results between all 3 lobbies that we do race here on the Tuesday. But with just how dynamic the fuel and tyres are changing lap by lap, let alone the cars racing around you, you really have to adjust the way you're driving the car throughout the race, especially when those tyres go down. So, meanwhile, Justin on the hard tyre just has a pretty one straight job to do. These guys like Slippy, Apex, Hamza, etc., who are racing around Justin at the moment, have so much to keep in mindful because they're running overcut strategies. So you don't want to lose time, but you also need to keep it on the track, as we've already seen throughout this race already. I've just noticed here and there people already getting time penalties, so you have to keep that in mind and make sure everyone can just keep it on the track. That's first and foremost.
Yes, 100%. Here we go, Slippy up the inside of Justin L. So Justin L, he is obviously on the slower tyre, 2 compounds softer, and I just think he's not battling these guys too hard. I think he knows he just has to take his pain early here, get on these hard tyres, and he'll be able to hop on the softs in a few laps time and bring it home on the faster tyre, whereas these guys still have to yet get onto that slower tyre. But he is making it hard for Apex there, so covering into the braking zone of Parabolica. Slippy's getting away here, and Justin L, he's going to get swarmed by smashing Apex, who holds a tight line down the front straight, side by side with Justin L, and BBL Sinkilla is going to invite himself into this party to go 3 wide down the front straight. What a spectacle that is here at Monza. And Sinkilla, he's gone from 7th up to 5th, so he's taken 2 cars in the 1.1 kilometre straight, and Apex now finally gets past Justin L, and Justin L finds himself back in 7th with a fair gap to BBL Flash behind him. So bit of breathing room now for Justin L. Obviously won't be able to really keep up with these guys in front due to the different compound of tyre that he's on, but he might just be able to stay with them a little bit in the slipstream and use that to his advantage to just get himself into a rhythm, not cost himself too much time, as we see a couple cars running wide on the exit of turn 3, kicking up dust. That was Slippy and Hamza side by side, so that Slippy is past Hamza, so there must have been a move into turn 3 there for that to happen. That must have been the dust we saw getting kicked up, and Hamza now trying to get a good exit out of the second Lesmo to get a run down towards Ascari, and Sinkilla and Apex are going to invite themselves into this one as well. So very close battle all the way from 3rd to 7th. Hamza pushing Slippy down into Ascari. I think they're going to get through fairly cleanly through here, but this is a very good battle for this podium place going on at the moment, Chris. 4 cars within a very short distance of a podium. So we're going to check out a replay here of how Slippy got past Hamza. So coming into the turn 3 chicane, he just carries too much speed, gets wide on exit into the gravel, and that just slows the car right up, which opens up Slippy to go around the outside because he just gets a nice run through the chicane. So that was where the change of position occurred for 3rd place, and why Hamza is now back in that battle pack.
Absolutely, Isaac. Rock Hamza absolutely wrestling that Corvette to its best of its ability, but we know the Supra, both Sin Killer and Slippy are both in the Supra. Those cars are quite compromised on the fuel economy, as I did mention before. So these guys may be on the soft tyre. I'm not entirely too sure, but they know they're going to be playing a bit of cat and mouse to try and make sure that they can have enough fuel to minimise the pit transit time. But as we've been mentioning the tyres, Justin, the first of our hard tyre stoppers within the top 8 at the moment, despite slipping all the way down the 7th, Isaac. I think that's a ripper job by Justin on the hard tyre. Did get some, and as we say, is Hamza.
Oh!
Unfortunately, a big moment there through the first chicane. He turned 1 and 2. Just seems like he's probably run it a little bit too deep and just was a passenger at that point. Hit the brakes, got loose on the curbs there on the inside there of that chicane, and yeah, unfortunately, side-to-side contact with Slippy there, but despite the contact, doesn't look like anyone has any serious damage or lost too much time there at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure these guys will be getting a little bit frustrated at the moment. I'm assuming all these guys on the soft tyre, so come towards the race, Isaac, even though you're getting track position now, you might be compromised to the undercut runners here.
Yes, no, definitely all right. And you got to think about as well, as you mentioned earlier, Justin L has come in for his stop, so he is now pitted and was right behind these guys just before he came into the pits. So these guys probably need to work together to push themselves further up and further away from Justin to keep pace and to sort of lower that risk of the undercut, because obviously it's going to be a few more laps before we see the results of this undercut, because these guys will be able to run for a while on these soft tyres, but there will be a point where that does happen, and there is a bit of a crossover in terms of the strategy and where Justin L will come out. So we'll monitor that closely, but these guys, they're still going side by side, battling each other. So Slippy's up into 3rd. Again, Apex keeps that narrow inside line along the front straight. Seems to get a better exit for him, give him a better run down the front straight. But they're all just sort of battling with each other, not working together too much at this stage. It's probably what they need to be doing. And BBL Sinkiller has gone in the space of a lap from 3rd to 6th. And Apex, he's gone too deep there. He just overshot the chicane, and it's reset him back away from that group, but he just broke. I think he just maybe missed his marker or went a little bit too late into that chicane, and he's just overshot, which will be frustrating for him because he was running so well with these guys up the front. But Hamza now looking for a move up the inside of Slippy into turn 3. Can he make this move stick? I think he can. Yeah, Slippy just gives him the room, opens up the wheel a little bit and lets him through. So clean racing from these guys for the most part. A little bit of side-to-side action going down that front straight as well, but it is really good to watch. Justin L, this will be great news for him. He won't be able to really see where these guys are in terms of proximity to him on the track and the time frame, but it is doing wonders for him and his mission to undercut these guys. So here we go, replay. So Hamza looks up the inside of Slippy. It goes very deep into the corner, way overshoots it, tries to correct, and then trying to rejoin, tags Slippy. And that means that he gets loose and opens up BBL Sinkiller. So Hamza just carrying a little bit too much speed into that first chicane and running wide and then causing the contact with Slippy, which meant that Hamza falls back to 6th, and BBL Sinkiller now finds himself up in the podium places.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely not wrong. I'm not too sure where he is on the track map at the moment. Might even be able to scroll to me at the moment. So currently running 9th, a comfortable margin between BBL Flash running in 8th and Sam, with both of those guys running in the 2000 version of the GT 500 NSX, which is really good on fuel as well. So I'm sure Sandwith might be able to collect some time as well in pit transit. But Justin, yeah, taking the pain on the hard tyres, so he's going to have very good soft tyres towards the end of this race, and already 7/10 up blue on his PB at the moment. So we'll have to keep an eye on Justin as more guys here in the front transit pit lane. But Justin doing a very good strategy at the moment, very bold and very brave, by the way, starting the hard tyre. Not everyone is a hard tyre fan, I can say that right now. So he did a really good job surviving that as well. But despite, yeah, Hamza, Slippy, Sinkiller and Apex battling there, Warbutton and Crestal currently occupying the first 2 positions on the podium, had just kind of run away with it at the moment. So those guys have done a good job to avoid the battles down the pack there, and seem to be maybe working together a bit better than some of the others. But yeah, Warbutton and Crestdale is certainly not over for those guys.
No, definitely not, and that's going to be what we look at. They obviously are in clean air, and obviously Justin L is in clean air, running on his own here. So this is great for him because he's got no one around him that he has to battle that are on older tyres. So he hasn't quite caught up to BVL Flash yet. So for now, he's got himself clean air and the ability to push harder than those guys that are battling. But for Warbutton and Crestdale, I'm sure it's very much the same for them. Obviously starting on the soft tyre, they want to run as long as they can on that tyre. And Warbutton still with the fastest lap of the race. So he is one of the fastest cars on track, and he'll be wanting it to stay that way so that he can come out ahead of Justin L, because Justin will be pushing to get to the front of this field. Obviously started on the pole and struggled on the, obviously, you know, struggled, I wouldn't say struggled on the hard tyre, but everyone around him was on the soft, so it was much easier for them to keep up and push harder because they were on the faster tyre, and he just let them go. He wasn't going to fight it too hard, which I think was smart racing from him. But now he's on the soft tyre, he can afford to push, he can afford to fight for position more so. He doesn't want to be obviously fighting too much because that'll slow him down with the cars in relation to who he's trying to undercut. But he will be looking to push, as you can see the gap he's closed to BVL Flash, so just how much quicker he is on this fresh set of tyres.
Not wrong, and drivers like Justin, Warbutton and others on track here, you can strategize, you can save fuel as much as you want, but you need the outright pace to be able to pull off these sort of things on track, especially undercutting, starting on the tyre, like the hard tyre here. So, and Justin already going purple, so he's looking to threat. Despite being down the order here already, I would say Justin's probably already maybe jumped the guys up to P3 at the moment, hypothetically on track. But yeah, Warbutton and Crestdale doing a good job out here from, might even scroll up to P1 and P2 at the moment, and just see how those guys are tracking along at the moment. So this is the thing, running along on this overcut, Isaac, you really got to obviously make the tyre last and get the fuel right. So not only are you going to be in the better position to transfer pit lane as quick as you can, but with the undercut that Justin is getting right now, you want to stay in the pits for as minimal time as you possibly can. So Warbutton straight 47s there, a few 48s there, so mega consistency from the Porsche driver at the moment. He's been so impressive so far in the Tuesday night GT3 campaign, and it seems like it's a 4 or 5 driver horse race at the moment for overall honours. But Warbutton really, really impressive. And yeah, we'll mention again, special shout out to Crestdale. Big struggle at Fuji, unfortunately, towards the back end of that race, with a really unfair, somewhat controversial 3-second penalty that was handed to him by the game itself in game for the yellow flags towards the end of the race there. So he'll be wrapped with his pace at the moment. And I'll tell you right now, Isaac, don't know if you've driven that Ferrari too much, but when the tyres aren't handling that Ferrari, it's like trying to drive a car on ice. So really props to him to keep that going, and a very, very fun car indeed. So but it looks like these gaps are already building down towards the pack. So Hamza has seemed to have broken away from Slippy at the moment. And as I've just noticed, Isaac, looks like Sin Killer unappearing there on that pack at the moment. So maybe perhaps a technical error for him has unfortunately seen him DNF from this race. So that's really unfortunate. For Slippy as well, his BVL team, they're not able to run with him together and push each other up the order there. But that's really unfortunate for Sinclair to be out of this race so far. But yeah, it seems a few gaps here at the moment. Not too much track action happening at the moment, Isaac. I'm just keeping an eye on that delta between Justin and the leaders at the moment. So 6th position. Obviously, he's still a fair bit of time off 5th place there in Apex, but you definitely get the feeling that Justin's going to throw his hand up here for a potential podium, maybe even more, come towards the end of the race when these guys jump off the soft tyres.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. He's through BVL Flash now, so he is released and is trying to catch up to Apex. So all the cars in front of him are yet to stop. So it is quite competitive with these guys at the front, and Justin L, he's looking for that undercut to be as effective as possible and vault him as far up the order as possible to make it easier for himself at the end. So he's looking to stay consistently in those 47s, as Warbutton was as well, consistently in those 47s. And yeah, as back on Crestdale as well, you mentioned that he got that 3-second penalty. I thought it was very good of the stewards to hand that back to him and take that 3 seconds off his race time at the end as well. So that was really good. And yeah, you're right, those Ferraris, they are very difficult to handle once you once the tyres go on, and they are like ice. But here we go. So wall button in and stopped. Where is he going to come out in relation to Justin L, who's coming through Parabolica now? Fuel going in for wall button. That is all the fuel he needs. So he is done. He is out. There is Justin L in the background. So that is the gap between provisional first on track and Justin L. So that is the gap he has to make up. And wall button now obviously on those hard tyres. So the slower tyre now for wall button, which means that he is going to be the prey that Justin L is hunting down, if you will. Justin L will see red. He'll have the eyes locked. He will be 100% focused on the back of that beautifully presented 18 Porsche, and he'll be chasing that down as quickly as he can. So it's going to be quite interesting to watch the back end of this one and how quickly Justin can chase down wall button.
Not wrong, and probably a little bit of unfinished business at Fuji as well from the last race. Isaac, if you remember, wall button with an unfortunate spin towards the end of that race, coming out of the last corner there. So these guys, a little bit of unfinished business here, but yeah, wall button's main priority now is they keep it on track, because the outlap on the hard tyre is usually below average to poor. And then once he's gotten that out, yeah, he's got to hope that Justin's tyres are starting to lose performance. But meanwhile, as we go down to the order here a little bit more, we have talked a fair bit about Justin's undercut, but I think there's a fair few drivers behind him that have also run the same strategy. So we've got Sandwith here, BBL Flash and K-Dot all neck and neck at the moment. So these guys could definitely put their hand up for a pretty good position towards the end of this race as well. So now Crestdale is in the second of our top runner stoppers at the moment. He's got 14 litres left on board, so he might not need to put too much on. So Crestdale done a good job there to run those softs for as long as he can. So now that leaves out Hamza, Apex and Slippy, our only guys left on track at the moment. We haven't stopped, so I have to see where Crestdale comes out. So Crestdale coming out of the pit lane at the moment, so it's like, why to even jump wall button here?
Gonna be close with wall button. He has,
Absolutely.
he's got him. He's into,
massive jump.
He's into the first chicane. Massive jump. You are right. Absolutely massive jump. So that is, I'm not sure whether he may have underfilled a little bit on fuel. We know the Ferraris can be good on fuel saving. So he may have underfilled a little bit to compromise the fuel load that he has and have to save a little bit of fuel, but it gives him track position. And we all know that at a track like this at Monza, where it's so hard to overtake unless you can get a really good run off the final corner down the front straight or out of the Ascari into the Parabolica, where there's limited opportunities for overtaking here, track position is so important. So he will be really stoked with that, I think, to come out ahead of these guys. And it just goes to show staying out a little bit longer on the soft tyre compared to that hard tyre, and you know, looking after the soft tyre early in the race when you had clean air and then pushing at the back end of your stint has paid off for Crestdale here.
Yeah, absolutely. But not only that, Isaac, but you really need to be able to look after that soft tyre, because we know the delta between the hard and the soft tyre of a track like this, and then the nature of the circuit is huge. So meanwhile, yes, Justin is a fair way off wall button, and let alone Crestdale for that matter of fact, but he's going to have significant pace over these guys, and already chopped into wall buttons gap there already. So with the gap that Crestdale come out there, I'm assuming he's short field, so looks like he's traded in some fuel for track position. But that might bode him well now, and Justin might need to hunt down a little bit harder, but Justin's going to have, like on that last lap there, already set the fast lap of the race at 47.5. That is a mega lap, and already again another 47. Now Hamza is going to come out on the hard tyre, so we know he was a little bit further behind. We've got Paul battling some of the BVL guys there in Apex early in the race, but he'll come out in P6 and not too far behind Justin. So that's a pretty good result for Hamza, considering the early battles he had in this race. Unfortunate incident there with Slippy early going through going through turn 1 and 2, sorry. So that's a really good result there by Hamza, considering how his race has gone at the moment. Meanwhile, while this is happening, we've got Sandwith and K-Dot running 7th and 8th at the moment. So K-Dot probably trying to save a lot of fuel here at the start of the race, but Sandwith qualified P10, I believe, currently inside the top 10 running 7th, and he is on the soft tyre as well as K-Dot. So these guys, yeah, despite everyone being spread out right now, once the dust settles, everyone's gotten into the space they should be towards the end of the race. Yeah, I wouldn't rule out any other results coming out from this one that might just blow us away a little bit, Isaac.
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. And I spoke to spoke to LJ over the weekend for our round wrap up, and we spoke about how, you know, it's really important, the strategies in these races, because they can buy you precious track position, and how, you know, this NSX is a very, very good car at fuel saving and looking after the tyres. It's not as great in the corners, he did mention. He said it's not it's a bit aerodynamically challenged, but he said it's great for fuel, it's great for tyres, and it pays off. It gets him up the order, puts him into position, you know, even if it's not the strongest in qualifying over a 1 lap period, it is very strong over a race period. But yes, and also we should mention, as you already have, Hamza has done really well to find himself up in 6th and not that far off Justin. So I think it just goes to show as well, you know, clear air around here is so important. And Hamza, he got clear of Slippy and the rest of those guys in that battle, and now he finds himself close. As there we go. So Justin L, I should mention as well, we must have missed it on track, but he is into 2nd, provisional lead of this race. So he's passed Christale and Walbutton. So we missed that move. We'll have to go back and find it, but it was so that's good for him. He's now into the provisional lead of this race and clear on the soft tyres. So we'll go back and try and find that replay for you to see what happened and how he got past. But that is huge for Justin, Chris. He is now in clear air.
It was only a matter of when, not if. Isaac, the gains that he was making on these guys on hard tyres, he seemed to be running 1 minute 50s at the moment compared to 1:47s, which Justin is doing currently on the soft tyre. Yeah, it was the inevitable, wasn't it? So Justin taking his pain early on the hard tyre, getting swamped, but considering he did start on hard tyre, did a really, really, really good job to stay composed and think about the later term of this race. And that's the thing, Isaac, with so much that can play out in this race, it's so easy to think of the present moment with the cars you're fighting on track and thinking about what you can do in that moment, but you really got to think long term. Even though it's 16 laps around Monza, sub 2 minute laps, you really need to be thinking long term, and strategy can make or break your race. So Justin, provisional hypothetical P1 mathematically at the moment. We still have 1 car on track yet to make their pit stop, but Crestdale and Walbutton are currently fighting for what will end up being P2 and 3 on track at the moment. So if Crestdale can keep it on the podium here, that is a massive, massive recovery from him after the race at Fuji.
So here we go. This is how Justin found himself in the provisional lead of this race. So Crestale and Walbutton battling for position. Walbutton gets pushed wide by Crestale, which opens up the door for Justin. We've got a lovely run through that turn 3 chicane. He's now right on the back of Crestale as they come through the first Lesmo down towards the second Lesmo. Going to try and set himself up for a move here. Get a clean run out of here, and you can get a run and slipstream down towards Ascari. So now on the straight down towards Ascari chicane. Will he be able to make a move around the outside? He's right behind him here, pulls to the outside, doesn't leave him a lot of room. And beautiful move around the outside there from Justin. Absolutely textbook from your series leader, and that just shows why he is at the top of this field. Absolute textbook move from Justin there to put himself in the provisional lead of this race. But here we go, Walbutton, he's having a look to the outside, down towards turn 1, he's got the pace. Crestale covers into the braking zone. They try the switchback, Walbutton does, but Crestale just holds the line, and that is beautiful racing between those two. Absolutely textbook.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that was the walls of Alonso top defending there by Crestale. Kept it on track, didn't move on the brakes, just shut the door whether Walbutton could overlap him on the inside curve there exiting turn 2, but it's definitely not over yet. So this is where the battle is going to get interesting here, Isaac. So Crestale might be able to defend, might be able to hold him off, but the nature of Monza, he's just going to pull him along. So despite how much defending Crestale's going to do here, he's not going to be able to let him go unless if he can just drive away in a straight line, which when you are pulling someone along, you really can't do. So Crestale is going to have to have his hands full here for the rest of this one. So Walbutton probably won't leave his rear bump here until they finish the race overall. But while Crestale is doing this, what he's now doing critically and for the championship as well is inviting Hamza into this party now.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So these guys battling, it's one serving Justin L really well because he's just bolted. You can see him in the distance now, and it's inviting Hamza into this battle. So he did come out a fair way behind them, and here we go. Walbutton and Cristal yet again, side by side, down towards Parabolica. This is wonderful racing from these two, and Walbutton is clear for now. Cristal stays right with him, trying to get a better exit down the front straight. Obviously, Monza, the home of the Ferrari. So he wants to put a good result on here at Ferrari's home race, his home race of Italy. So here we go, side by side, yet again, down towards turn one. The reverse of last time. Walbutton has the inside, Cristal has the outside. Who will come out on top this time? And Cristal, he just brakes a little bit later, goes a little bit too deep. And Walbutton has another look at it. Oh, and Harms has made contact, and Walbutton's around. So Walbutton, he got wide on the exit there with Cristal because they went side by side in the second phase of that chicane. Harms has closed right up, invited himself into that battle, and then Walbutton, as he's trying to get back across and turn into the corner of turn two, Harms has made contact and he's gone round, and that is put him down into 8th, and that is extremely disappointing for him. That was a really good battle. It was really good running, and it's just unfortunate that there was contact made there into turn 2. That is a huge shame. So here we go. What happened with Walbutton, sorry, on this final lap? So side by side with Cristal down towards the turn 1 chicane. Cristal makes a lovely move around the outside. Cristal goes a bit deep. Walbutton tries to come back. A little bit of contact. Hamza has a lovely run, comes through, makes contact with the rear of Walbutton, and he just faces the wrong way. And then he just struggles to get the car turned around. So just unfortunate contact there. And that one will have to go to the stewards to see what the outcome of that is. But he just falls down the back. And just it's disappointing for him. It's 2 weeks in a row that he's fallen victim to a late race spin. But still running beautifully up the top for the rest of the race. So at least he can take some positives from it.
But looks like K-Dot and Josh Green are yet to settle things. And even a bit further up here, Isaac. It's absolute madness here at the moment.
So close. Here we go. El Sandwith going to look around the outside of Apex into Ascari. Gets a little bit wide there. Almost contact. And K-Dot's going to invite himself into this one as well. So it's not over yet. Justin L, your race leader, is going to come through Parabolica to win this one. But we're going to stay with this battle right towards the end because it is not over yet. This one is really close as we come into Parabolica. El Sandwith covers K-Dot. Justin L wins. Cristal's going to come across the line in second. Hamza's going to be third. But who is going to come out here in fourth? Sandwith, K-Dot, and K-Dot's got him. Sandwith, I don't know what happened there. Maybe ran out of fuel. Maybe backed off at the exit there. But K-Dot grabbed him around the outside right towards the end. That was absolutely crazy, that finish.
Did not know where to look there, Isaac. It looks like Sam, we did run out of fuel on line here, so looking at the minor places here. Street silent P9 after qualifying at the back of the field, so that's a really good recovery drive from him. Baz at 10th, he'll be stoked with that in the BRZ, so that is a really good result. For one of the fellow AGT administrators here, Wrestler in 11th, BVL Flash in 12th, and Slippy currently in 13th. So looks like, yeah, he's coming to pit lane at the end of lap 13. So it looks like he might have gotten damage or something similar to that. But that's a really unfortunate overall result there for Slippy. I think this actually might be his first race so far this season. I'm not entirely too sure. I knew he wasn't there at Fuji, but yeah, that's really unfortunate there for him. And his BVL teammate, and Sinkiller, who was running with him as well, was a DNF for this one. So Slippy comes across the line in 13th, followed by Toolshed in 14th. So, wow, Isaac, I mean, there was so much at play there at the moment. A lot of cat and mouse, fuel, tyres, the lot. But what a cracking finish there. Really, really definitive and hard-hitting win there for Justin. He'll really want that after the first 2 rounds, how they went. Cristal with an incredible podium finish after, yeah, really unlucky one there at Fuji with the yellow flag penalty that really killed his hopes of a potential podium there. But yeah, wow. I mean, I've got to ask you, Isaac, who your driver of the day is for this one, mate, because there's a lot of good stories top to bottom of the field.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you know, there was a lot happening in this field, and it's really hard to make a decision on this one. But I think I've got to give it to K-Dot for this race. He started 9th on the hard tyre, and he's found himself provisionally in 4th place in this race, which is really good. So a really strong result from him, and another one of those guys that are making the hard tyre, making the hard tyre first strategy super effective. Obviously, we saw how well it worked with Justin, getting on those hard tyres, getting the pain out of the way early, and having the pace at the back end of the race. And it's paid off for K-Dot as well, and he finds himself in 4th. Obviously, a bit unlucky for Sam with running out of fuel on the line. But yeah, so definitely got to give it to K-Dot for this one. We'll jump into the results for you now. We'll have another look at those. So Justin L comes across the line in 1st. A great win for him, our overall championship leader, and that'll be great for him in terms of, both championships, so overall championship, but also the GT3 championship, which we spoke about with him on Sunday. He is still vying for that one as well. Obviously, a lot of fast guys in this lobby, but he's looking to wrap up all 3 championships, actually. But that'll be great for him in the GT3 standings. Christelle comes home 2nd. Hamza comes home 3rd. We'll have to see what the stewards say about that turn 1 incident on the final lap of the race with Walbutton. But for now, he is in 3rd. K-Dot 4th. Samwick 5th. Apex comes home 6th. A brilliant race for him. Obviously in that battle pack early on with Hamza, Sinkiller, Slippy, and himself. And, he stayed out of trouble. He obviously pitted. He stayed out longer, actually. So he ran the longest out of anybody on soft tyres, and it worked well for him because he found himself in 6th at the end of this one. Jay Green 7th. A quiet race for our winner at Daytona. Obviously, probably not the strongest car, well, not the strongest track for the Ford GT, I should say. But we'll see him back in a couple of weeks' time for our Bathurst round. So looking forward to seeing what he can do around the mountain. Walbutton 8th, disappointing for him. Would have liked to be higher up, but just unfortunate contact at turn 1 on the final lap. Street Style in 9th, Bazza 10th, Wrestler 11th, BBL Flash 12th, Slippy, unfortunate damage for him. Had to come in and fix that one to bring her home in 13th. OGR Toolshed 14th, and BBL Sin Killer. So disappointing for him to have that disconnect. He was up the front and competitive with those guys, and in a great battle pack toward the start of the race. So he'll be really frustrated with that disconnect, but hopefully we'll see him back next week for the Nurburgring wet race. What an absolute cracker of a race, Chris. It was definitely a lot going on, and definitely a lot to talk about going into next week.
Absolutely, Isaac, mate. That was a really good race, and what it's actually done now, now we've got a couple races under our belt, plus a drop around of Ply. We have a really tight battle between Justin Ladaway, Hamza, James Walbotton, and Josh Green, currently occupying the top 4 in the championship at the moment, and not too far away Xylon, K-Dot, and Apex just nipping at their heels. It can even go down further down the order there, Isaac. And I think the thing that's making this Lobby A race so great at the moment is how close this is and the overall competitiveness of everyone. So I'm sure some people are happy to downplay a result or how the race went, but I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure everyone's sweating as hard as they can to get the best result that possible out there. So yeah, really good there race, Isaac, and I think a lot of people want to be very keen for our next stop on this European tour, dropping into Nurburgring Grand Prix Circuit, however, in wet conditions.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going to be quite interesting. I think a few people have already said that they're looking for the Nurburgring to be their drop round for this season. So definitely, a round where if you can keep yourself clean and facing the right direction, you could find yourself within a whole bag of points. But very close with the top 5 in the championship. I can't wait to break it all down on Sunday and chat to a few people about how this championship's shaping out, but it's definitely a good one. We're going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch this awesome Lobby A action here for round 3. We'll see you next week for our wet race in Nürburgring. Tune in because that one, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.